Hey everyone, it's Prisms Collection Corner here, and welcome back to another video. So today is July 10th of 2024, and I've just gotten back from another trip. I went up through the coast, or up to the coast this past week, went to different towns, did some thrift shopping, ended up staying in Fort Bragg for the majority of it, did quite a bit of thrift shopping there. And today I'm going to show you everything that I got. And at the end of this video, I have a big announcement that I'm going to be making. So I'm going to get started with this update, show you everything that I've got, DVDs, Blu-rays. I didn't buy the most stuff in the world, I'll be honest. Not as big as some of my other updates, in terms of collector sets or whatever. But quite a few of the titles, at least a couple of them, were ones I've really been looking for. And there were some other ones that were just cool to find, too. So, let's get into it. First, I'm doing this in kind of the order of picking them up. So for DVDs, I'm going to start with the one I got at the Bird Street Thrift on my way out of town. This is Flywheel, the director's cut. This is from the studio that did Facing the Giants, or from the creators of that. So this is, I think, another faith-based kind of movie. Apparently this has two different cuts of the film. I was interested in it because I like collecting director's cuts and that kind of thing. It was pretty cheap. I've actually never heard of this one before. I've never watched it, really. I saw it on eBay once, but yeah, I looked it up. Sounds intriguing. But it's just cool to have another director's cut in the collection. Then I got a old classic family film. This is Yours, Mine, and Ours. This has Lucille Ball and Henry Fonda. This is one of those old 1950s, 1960s family films. Yeah, 1968. So this was a later one, in fact. But I've heard good things. Pretty cheap DVD copy. So I picked up that, along with something else really cool at that same store, but I'll show that later. Next is a replacement for a DVD I already own. So this one I picked up in the first place because it was so hard to come by. And I was actually going after the director's stuff. It was so hard to find, I took the risk of it being scratched, but now I have found a copy that is in perfect condition. And this is Banjo the Woodpile Cat, the first ever short that Don Bluth did that was not distributed by Disney. I'm actually really happy to have this, because like I said, I picked this up. In fact, I'll probably link the video that I showed it in. I already own this, but it's really scratched up. I couldn't even finish the cartoon, so I got a new one. And it has all the same bonus features, and I will be definitely throwing away the old copy. Another disc that I picked up was Elizabeth, The Golden Age. This has Cate Blanchett, Jeffrey Rush, and Clive Owen. Might have mispronounced those names. This is apparently a sequel to the 1998 film Elizabeth, which I am looking for a copy of. I actually could have gotten it today, but I didn't like the artwork, so I figured instead of buying it twice, I'd just wait. It's also one of those old classic, really well-known films, so I might see if there's like a collector's box set or anything. But I got the sequel pretty cheap. And then this is a sci-fi action made to be kind of like the Matrix film. This is one of the worst films ever made, but I actually found some enjoyment. This is Ballistic X vs. Sever with Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu. This film is definitely a movie. It definitely is terrible. I can understand why people don't like it. I myself was very confused by what was going on, but I wanted to watch it. I wanted to have it just for the fact that it sounded interesting and it was a bad movie. So I picked it up at a old movie rental store. They're trying to get rid of their movies. All they had left were really the films no one cared about, and I found this in that pile. But I cared about it, and I thought it was pretty bad. But hey, it's fun to watch, so I'm going to keep it in the collection. Then we got a TV series I picked up at the Book Juggler. This is apparently the sequel to The Pillars of the Earth, but this is Ken Follett's World Without End, the epic 8-part miniseries. So this is a whole TV show in historic times with like sword fighting and all that. Multiple disc, obviously. Apparently only 2 discs, which I'm surprised about. Not rated, but yeah, pretty cool set. There was actually another TV series that I was going to pick up. I've really been liking Superman and Lois, or at least I did when I watched it. And I thought I found a nice copy of it, but it was on Blu-ray. And I'm trying to stick to DVDs for most of the movies that I own because, well, you know, I have more DVD players, so it was too expensive anyways, but yeah, I almost picked it up. Next we got a couple items from the Prodigal Thrift in Ukiah. So actually, a couple of these were from Willits, a couple from Ukiah, a couple from other places. But this first one is a romance that I actually did watch the night that I picked this up. This is the Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan film, Sleepless in Seattle. The special edition. I'd never seen this movie before, but it's a really sweet romance from the early 1990s. It has great actors in it. It's got some cool special features, including a music video, Love in the Movies, or, sorry, that's a featurette. But the music video is When I Fall in Love. Theatrical trailers, talent files, scene selections. So it's got some cool stuff on here. It's one of the old, Columbia TriStar special editions. I thought it was nice. I don't know why the disc is, completely faded. Or is that meant to be how it looks? I don't know, it might be completely faded. Another thing I'll say about it, too, is that I did actually see a different version of the special edition online. I just looked at it to see what it had extras-wise. I like the artwork of this one a lot better, and it's the exact same extras, I think. But here are 2 Dan Aykroyd comedies. Now, the first one on this, I don't care for. I might watch it just for the fun of it, but it was the second one that I was really going after, and I was looking all over for this film. I looked at multiple different stores. This is a film that I don't even think has been released on Blu-ray. It is the 1991 Dan Aykroyd directed comedy, Nothing But Trouble. And also Spies Like Us, but that was not directed by him, that one just stars him. And, look, I normally don't buy Warner Brothers or any company feature film packs. If I buy a movie, I like to buy it on its own so I can get the maximum, capacity, no flipper disc, that kind of thing. But this film is so hard to come by that I didn't care. I would have bought it if it was in a snapper case, which I hate the snapper cases for how fragile they are. But I finally found it, and I'm just like, whatever, I'm gonna get it. And I watched it, and I loved it. It's a really funny comedy. It's really bizarre, it's really weird, but it's one of those films that is just fun to watch. And it did have some very funny scenes in it. Alright, now we got whatever else I picked up. So these are all from Fort Bragg. But I got Speed 2, Cruise Control. This does not star Keanu Reeves. In fact, it is a cast of new characters. I haven't seen the original Speed either. I do need to pick that one up. But here's Speed 2. Apparently this one's hard to come by, so cool, I got a rare DVD. This is a Disney classic, the special edition of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Obviously, this is a 1954 aquatic film. I've never seen this. This is the 127-minute long cut, but, is a really cool release. Paid a little bit more than I maybe should have. I didn't even need this, but it's Disney. It's a classic underwater adventure. Why not? Then, all these other ones here I just picked up today in Fort Bragg, and there was one I got at some other store on the way home. I have no idea where it was. I was on the way home, and I saw it, and I picked it up. Alright, so first we have Frank Capra's Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I've never heard of this film. I have never, ever heard of this movie, but apparently it's black and white. I didn't even know that. Yeah, my mom brought this one up to me. I guess it's one of those old black and white features. 138 minutes, or sorry, 130 minutes, so over 2 hours. Yeah, it's cool. Whatever. I'll hopefully enjoy it. Then we have one of those old historical epics. This is Alexander the Great, the MGM UA release. I don't know if I'll like this film. I don't know what this film is really about. I don't know how inappropriate it is or anything like that. It's not rated. So, but here it is, Alexander the Great. Then we got Sahara. This is a Paramount release. I think this is like the Mummy films. One of those dumb action adventures from the early 2000s. You know, just an action adventure film. It does have the old snaps on the case, which I both like and hate. I like how it makes them more secure, but I also hate that they exist because it makes it harder to, you know, it makes you forget when you're opening the case that, oh wait, I have to open something else, so kind of annoying, but I also kind of like them. But that was a cool one. Found it in very good condition. Then we've got a old Western from 2004. This is The Alamo. This was made under Disney, under their Touchstone banner. So I thought this would be interesting to pick up. I've heard this one had a troubled production, but we'll see if I like it. I've been trying to get a couple of Westerns lately, and so I picked up that one. And it might need a better case, but whatever. And finally, for DVDs, I picked up the sequel to the greatest film of all time. At least one of the greatest films. I haven't seen it myself, but I've heard that. I didn't pick up Jaws. I didn't pick up Jaws 3, or Jaws the Revenge, or even Cruel Jaws, the rumored Jaws 5. No, I just picked up Jaws 2. I've heard this film is terrible. I don't care. It was a cheap price. I'm gonna watch it when I watch the first Jaws movie. And then maybe, you know, maybe I'll go ahead and get a Jaws movie box set with all 5 films or all 4 films. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be a Jaws fanatic, but I picked it up. Whatever. Then I got a couple of sets. So these are a couple of cool collector sets that I got. First, a 2-disc DVD copy of the film The Right Stuff. This is in terrible condition. But I like these Warner collector sets, so I just kind of set aside the condition. If I find it cheaper, I'll rebuy it, is usually how I work with these. It's 2-disc, you know, got some writing, got some tears in the case. It's in horrible condition, but the discs work. So, well, supposedly they worked. I think they're slightly scratched, but whatever. That's a cool one to find. I hadn't heard of this film before. I think it's about astronauts. It's apparently very famous, I think. Winner of 4 Academy Awards. But yeah, that is that. If I can get it back in the case. Then we got, let's see. Also this one, alright. A bit of background context for this one. I'm not planning to collect every single Marvel movie on Blu-ray 4K. I'm not going to buy that as the first option when a new MCU film is out on physical media. I prefer DVD. If I want the extras, they're on Disney+, but sometimes it's nice to have them on Blu-ray, especially if you get them at a cheap price, or if I want to watch a fan edit or something like that. This one I found at a very cheap price, and that was legitimately the only reason I picked it up, especially in the condition it's in. This is the 2021 film Black Widow, in a Blu-ray 4K Ultra HD set. I'm 90% sure that the digital code has well been used, but I thought, why not? You know, why not have a copy of Black Widow on Blu-ray? The discs still work from what I can tell. There is writing on them, but I don't care. You know, like, I didn't care that much. I just thought, hey, why not pick it up on Blu-ray 4K? If it's only $3, if a Blu-ray 4K of a film I enjoy is only $3, there's no real reason to pass it up, unless the discs are completely tarnished, and it's a Marvel movie. So I just thought I was going to get it on Blu-ray 4K. I don't even care about the 4K. I don't have a 4K player. I don't even know if I have a 4K TV. But, whatever. I picked up Black Widow, and now I have it on both DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. And finally, this is a box set of a film that I've seen quite a while ago. I own all three of these films on DVD. Collector's set for the first one. But this is the Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital code. Now I'm 90% sure that the digital code has been used, or has expired, but it is still a very nice box set. You can see right here, with the ship opening, or the thing right there, you have this inside as well. I think I opened that the wrong way. Did I? No, you take that out. Yeah, so it's like a big box set. You have this right here. I think you have to open it like this. Yeah, so it says Return to Narnia. You've got some cool artwork. You've got the disc in these little slots. This is a very cool set that I picked up for $4. Did I need it? No. Did I want it? Yes. Do I have regrets? Kind of. I think it's a very cool set to have of the movie. I do. I do enjoy the Narnia films, and if I'm going to pick it up on Blu-ray, or even have it in the collection, you know, why not get a really cool box set of it? And I might get rid of the DVD copy that I have, or I might keep it, so I have all three films together. But that is it. That is it for my update for June 10th of 2024, but I did promise that I have an announcement. And it's one that's kind of hard for me to make, because when I started YouTube, I was collecting VHS. I really liked collecting VHS tapes. And I still do plan to collect them in some capacity. But I am moving in about a month or so. I'm not going to say where, but I will be moving. And I have no intentions of keeping every single tape that I own. So what's the solution? Well, I'm going to start getting rid of a lot of the tapes that I own. I already have getting rid of VeggieTales and all those other random films that I used to pick up. But I'm going to start getting into the Disney ones and seeing which ones I really don't care about. Because the fact is, I don't do it as much as I used to. I'm more into collecting DVDs and Blu-rays. When I go to a thrift store, I more so don't care if they have VHS tapes. I'm like, I want to see the DVDs and the Blu-rays. I don't even order tapes anymore. It's just no longer financially logical for me. Not that it ever was, but what I mean by that is, you know, if I had to make the choice between ordering a cool DVD box set or ordering a Neon Mickey Disney VHS tape, I'd probably take the box set. That's just the facts. That I am growing up, and I have life. I'm still planning to collect DVDs and Blu-rays of movies that I actually enjoy, and sometimes taking risk. But I am going to be cutting back on my collection a lot. I'm not going to make any promises for what I'm getting rid of or what I am keeping. Well, I will say this. I think anything that really isn't a rarity to me, I am going to get rid of. I'm for sure planning to keep the white clamshell releases, at least for another year. Because I enjoy finding those. I enjoy going to a random thrift store and finding one of those. They're really cool. I want to be able to upload the previews, or at least show that I own it. But, say the Disney Cartoon Classics, or Zorro TV series, or Wildlife Adventures, nature tapes from Disney, I don't need them. They're just self-space, and I'm going to be getting rid of them. So, you're going to start seeing a lot of postings on my eBay site. I will try and make announcements in the community tab. And that's just how it's going to be. That is how it's going to be. I guess if you really saw a tape in my collection and you wanted to mention, hey, I'd like to buy this for this price in the YouTube comments, I guess I could put it up for that price and reply back or something. I know that seems kind of weird, but yeah, I'm just going to start getting rid of a lot of these tapes because I can't keep them anymore, and I don't really want to keep them. I'd rather collect other things. I'd rather have a social life. It's been fun. I'm not stopping completely, but you've probably noticed that I have slowed down. I'm no longer doing updates with 20 VHS tapes. I'm doing updates with maybe 0 to 2. And that's fine, because I'm not going to take those with me when I go to college. I'm not. If I take anything with me, movie-wise, it's going to be my DVDs and Blu-rays, because those are the ones I actually watch, and it isn't just a collection. It's been fun, but I think it's time to slow down. But on a brighter note, maybe I'll be able to buy some DVDs and Blu-rays that I really want with the money I make. Maybe. We'll see. Kind of like a trade-off. I sell some tapes that I kind of don't care about, use the profits to expand my DVD collection. I'm not saying that's what I'll do all the time, but it's the hope. Anyways, my name's been Prism's Collection Corner. I guess you could say my name's been Prism. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys soon. Oh, and one more thing. For those wondering about Part 4 of my live-action Disney VHS collection, I do promise that I will finish it, because I do want to have a documentation of everything I owned, at least at one point. But I cannot promise that I will continue to show off my collection yearly. That's all I'm going to say. That's all for now. Bye!